Welcome to the Encouraging Cup. I'm Dr. Boomer Brown with Doing Good at Work. Well, May is National Mental Health Awareness Month, and we're trying to help people become more aware of what mental health is and how it affects us. You see, when we talk about health, we talk about physical health, mental health, emotional health, social health, spiritual health. We'll talk a lot about health, and we'll even address a lot of the physical health issues that we have. But in most circles, we don't talk about mental health. It's almost like that we're hands off when it comes to mental health because we don't really understand sometimes what it means to be mentally healthy. So we want to encourage you to start the conversation, to have conversations around mental health. Well, today's conversation is about unforgiveness. And maybe you're saying, well, that's not a mental health disorder. And I would agree with you. What it is the root of many mental health disorders. See, we can recognize many of the symptoms of poor mental health, but we don't talk about those, or we label them in ways that we try to deal with the symptoms. What we want to encourage is conversation about the root. One of those roots is unforgiveness. You see, unforgiveness is built up resentment inside of us about something that has happened to us, something that may have been unfair, a way that we were treated wrongly, someone hurt us. Real as it is, it causes us to have feelings, and many of us bury those down inside us, and we harbor those things, and it causes resentment. That could lead to anger. That will lead to frustration and bitterness and potentially hatred. There's depression and darkness and disappointment, and even in some cases, death, because we have these things buried deep down inside our soul and we're not processing them properly. We are practicing unforgiveness. So what is the antidote to unforgiveness? It's easy to say. It's forgiveness. Forgiveness is the antidote to unforgiveness. And what we want you to understand is that starts inside of you. See, it's what you control. You can't control the other person. You can't necessarily make them say they're sorry. You can't necessarily fix the relationship. You can't undo what has happened. And you have very little control over that. But what you do have control over is yourself. You see, understanding what forgiveness really is. You see, forgiveness is a conscious, deliberate decision. It's a decision that you are making consciously and deliberately to release those feelings that are bound inside you, those feelings of resentment, those feelings of vengeance toward that person, those persons that have hurt you. You see, it's hard to let go of those things because we're afraid that the other people will not get what we hope they get. So we hold on to these feelings of resentment and revenge, and it just continues to spiral down inside of our soul. You see, holding on to these will hurt you, and it will lead to poor mental health. So we want to encourage you to start learning how to practice forgiveness. Be conscious of what's going on. Be deliberate in your decisions. And start the process of releasing those feelings. Start understanding and thinking about what happened. How it was unfair. It was wrongful. It was hurtful. We're not telling you to not acknowledge that. We're not saying to ignore those things. We're encouraging you to work with a mental health first responder, a counselor, someone that can help you begin to release these pent-up feelings that often are exercised as unforgiveness and start practicing forgiveness. That's what we want to encourage you to do. And we're here to help you do just that. There are several resources that are available for you on the resource list that can help you learn techniques and tools and behaviors where you can release these pent feelings. There's also the opportunity to talk to a mental health first responder or to be referred to a mental health care provider. Whatever your need is, we want to help you. We don't want to ignore the mental health things and the things that have happened to you, to your spouse, significant others, to your children, friends. We want to encourage you during Mental Health Awareness Month to take action. We're here to help. As always, thank you for listening to The Cup this week. We do encourage you to come back next week when we'll talk about something new on the Encouraging Cup.